remember. I don't think they let them do that around here anymore because I guess the cops abuse the privilege or whatever. But I remember.
We're live, by the way. It just told me it went through.
So stop talking about being drunk in illegal places.
No, I was going to say, you can finish your story. I just don't want you to have anything that you don't want permanently recorded to the internet, you know.
No, this wasn't. It's not a drunk story, but it's basically it's just we were going entirely too fast, and you see this cop behind us on a motorcycle. We're like, oh crap! And he like yells over the intercom, just like, slow down, jackass. Just doesn't pull us over, mind you. He just screams at it. Well, not screams at us, but bells at us over the intercom. He was like, "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir."
All right.
Like 120 to 60 mile per hour.
Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group A. Finally, the Sky of Wolves, Episode 2. It has been a heck of a long time. As a DM,
watch us to kick Alexis.
Yeah, as a DM, even I don't remember 100% of all the things that happen. I have notes, so if I forget something, please remind me. But I'll try and summarize and not take too long. Your guys is
unbearable.
Stop! Just stop! Just no. Anyways, your guys' campaign started with you in Gwir. It is a port city on the northwest side of northeast side of Ardersarai. It is there are major fighting arenas here in town. You guys were pushed out of the capital from the faction known as the Twilight Circle, which is a circle of 5 vampires that seem to have their own agenda that is bumping heads with Elena, your guys' employer. Before you guys could continue...
getting murdered by tiefling terrorists.
Yeah. Before you guys could continue moving throughout the country, Elena resolved that you guys needed to find Terror Cry. He was specifically assigned to her because he has a ability to handle the bodyguard that the Twilight Circle made for themselves. Or rather, you guys suspected that he was inside of Gwir, just because he ran off in a bloodlust, and there is a huge coliseum here that people from all over the world come to fight in. You beseeched one of Elena's allies for help searching for him. That ally was Tengu Tengu the Fifth Ascended. He said that he wasn't going to lend any resources to help Elena because each person in their circle, the 7 of the people in their circle, have a specific job that they're assigned to do, and Elena's job is her job, and his is his, and they should try and keep contact to a minimum. Tengu did, however, give you guys a cleric by the name of Roak, that should help in the means of killing things until you guys found Terror Cry. It seems that Roak is in it for the long haul with you. You guys are somewhat.
He's in it.
Yeah, he's in it. Anyways, you guys did go to the arena and search it down and found Terror Cry being held in a special type of cell, along with a ice phoenix and a white dragon. And after a hefty amount of convincing, or rather a small amount of convincing, you guys got Terror Cry out of the cell and into your party. From there, Elena laid out the plan for you guys that she, or rather not her, but the person in charge of her circle, found the body of a god that they're trying to restore. And in order to do that, Lena has to bind each of the earth fires and bring it back to this god. And it is her duty to bind the earth fires, and it's Terror Cry's to protect her from divine things, and that actually, you guys don't know how his curse works yet. Never mind. He didn't tell you that much. He only, when you guys asked him about his part, Elena started telling you about her part. She couldn't tell you guys any more than that, because she could just tell you her part of the mission. From there, she told you guys to meet up in the mountains in 10 days, and basically it would be 4 days travel from the foot of the mountains to where you guys needed to go. So you guys have 6 days to kind of run around the country and do whatever you want. And that your next task would involve the Eye of the Mountain and the Flame Gate. And from there, you guys went shopping in Gwir and did a few random tasks that involved Malik flirting with the merchant, Soulmane getting a contract from a merchant. You guys learned that Captain Thalix of the Grand Market has a hefty tariff on the merchants that choose to sell there. And the tavern that Malik and the merchant went to share a drink at is called the Morning Falcon Tavern. And that is mourning as in sadness. It's kind of punny, though. Alright, let's open the Gwir page. Oh no, I didn't want to open Photoshop. I just want my... Alright. Anyways, we'll close that when it opens. And yeah, we're going to pick up from there. It is the evening of the 10th of Father. You guys didn't do much in Gwir other than helping out Elena and the things she told you guys to do. Malik is... Yeah. Malik is leaving the Morning Falcon Tavern, and...
Wait, how did the drink go?
I am going to roll you a percentage die on that. I will allow you to roll a persuasion check if you like, and you can influence the results by a modifier equal to your... I just lost my percentage die. What's the result of that?
That would be a 12. I rolled low.
Alright, so that's a +1. It went really, really poorly. As far as, you know, Malik not really being able to make small talk other than, you know, oh yeah, I've been killing people for, I mean, you know, and just not having much to speak with the commoner merchant about. However...
I have a maxed out charisma.
Yeah, however, Malik's personal charm is kind of appealing to her, and it averages out. Rolling just under a 50.
I wouldn't describe that as really poorly, then.
Well, I tacked in your modifier there. You actually rolled a 39. So, yeah. But anyways, it wasn't bad. It's like that awkward first date where, you know, both people like each other, but both people don't really know how to interact.
Malik's stoners are only for murder right now.
It's like, yeah, it's like, well, oh, so you like selling stuff? And like, yeah, I'm good at selling stuff. So what do you use your mace for? Oh, you know, I cast spells and hit people with it. So...
To be fair, what else would you use a mace for, I'd like to ask?
Yeah.
True.
And mostly the thing that does the killing is my magic, of which I wield a very powerful arsenal.
Did I tell you a name for her?
You did not.
Alright. I have a name written down, and I didn't know what it was for. The name on my notes is Cantier. K-A-N-T-I-E-R. Not that she's any importance, because I didn't attach any other notes to her. But we'll see if she ever comes back around in your campaign. Okay. Alright, so, just because I don't 100% remember where we left off at, you guys are going to be meeting in the, just outside the Grand Market at nightfall in Gwir.
Okay.
Elena said you guys have 6 days to basically do what you want, and Malik did ask her if you guys could go... I remember you asked her about the vampires. And yes. She said, try and fly under the radar. As Terror Cry's...
Yes!
Yeah, Terror Cry's job is to protect her, not attack them.
Right.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, you guys are free to do whatever you want, though.
So that begs the question, what do we want to do?
Malik has an idea. Malik is going is probably not going to do well on this, but I'm going to roll an investigation check, see what I can track down about the Circle of Twilight.
Okay.
Not bad, not bad.
Alright, so... this is going to affect just what information you get, and I can give you a summary of each part of town, but what part of town would Malik be doing that in? There is, and if you want, I can start drawing these out real quick, Fairy.
You can just use, like, little tick marks. Yeah, like that.
I'm going to do them in order so I don't have to keep changing colors. The south part of the bay is called Southport. A lot of merchants...
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Real creative naming there.
I told you, Ardor Sarai. You know what Ardor means. Ardor is, bravado, strength, resilience, and Sarai in this world means humanity. Their name is literally Strong Humanity. Like, this whole country's thing is we hit things good. Is it dead? Hit it harder. Or is it not dead? Hit it harder.
The crazy names went to the people, not the places.
Yeah. Other countries have, more wilder names. Anyways,
more wilder.
Northport, that is where you will find the Ardor Sarai Navy.
That's in the east.
Yeah. Kyrian Bay is a religious part of town. That is the Chantry of Concordance right there. This elevated part of town, it is a large road that leads into the center island, is called the Squeezeway. I guess that would kind of be a not shadier section of town, but a more like populated non-market area. The front entrance of town is the Grand Market. That's where you guys did most of your shopping at. However, Gwir is mostly a port city, so you can find stuff all over the place. And then there is Kaori, which is this neighborhood north of town, and then there is Mill Kaori, which is the south part of town.
Okay. I'm gonna do my investigation at the shadier part of town that you mentioned.
Okay, that is the Squeezeway, and all right,
they'll put the squeeze on you.
Yeah, trying to find out information about the Twilight Circle. You are going to...
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm pulling up my notes right now on the... You don't get information about the Twilight Circle, but you do get information that the captain of this region of town, the guard captain, Captain Thalix, is corrupt and takes bribes from merchants and foreigners for access into Southport. If this half of the Twilight Circle, our Twilight Fang, is foreign. So if they did have any dealings in Gwir, that would probably be a starting point for you.
So is it the Twilight Circle or Twilight Fang?
Twilight Fang is the name of the faction. They are also known as the Enthralled Circle. They manage themselves like a... Elena refers to the people that she works with as a circle of 7. So in that terminology, and this is just standard for this world, elves in this world take marriage circles, and those circles don't always include people they're in love with. Sometimes it just includes the person who's best at this thing. Some societies will model themselves, or some people will, model themselves after that, and that I've chosen you to be a part of this thing. You are now part of my circle.
Okay. So, do I learn... what about any information about the... Terrai? Yeah, Terrai. Any goings-on about Terrai that catch my interest?
On the 18, yeah, lots of people in Gwir have been following this guy known as the Fifth Ascended. Malik would already know that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who weren't Terrai are, showing back up as Terrai. However, recently, that number has decreased a lot. Most of them have left the city. Okay,
so nothing about vampires in particular, then?
Yes. Yeah, or rather, nothing about vampires.
Okay. So it's probably not a difficult conjecture, then, that the vampires maybe haven't followed us this far yet. What about this corrupt guard captain? He takes bribes from pretty much any source, yeah?
Yeah, as far as you know.
Alright, I'll look him up. What's this guy's name?
Captain Thalix. And from your investigation check, you learn her name is Lilda Thalix.
I may have misspelled her name in my notes, but Hooked on Phonics worked for me.
Yeah, it is perfectly fine. As if you come close, I'll know who you're talking about.
Don't forget, like the 7 U's in there that are hidden.
Yeah,
right?
There's actually only one hidden character. It's an O.
I hate you, Brandon.
It's Thoalix.
Thalix.
Yeah.
Not phallics. Okay. What? Anyway, okay. Alright, so I'll go find this lady. Well, actually, hold up. I will return to my group first, and I will procure, well, I'll basically just return to the group and say, hey, I'm gonna go talk to a corrupt guard captain about a thing. Anybody want to come?
About what time of day is it, Brandon?
It's nightfall. By the time Malik's getting back to you guys, though, it would be nightfall. Would anybody want to do anything during Malik's investigation check.
I gotta go meet up with the dude.
The dude, does he abide?
No, he wants me to kill someone.
He sounds nice.
I never got his name, so I don't know what to call him.
In my notes, I have him down as Old Strange Foreigner.
Yeah, that's about right. So I gotta go meet up with him.
What's his name? I don't know. What's he want you to do? Kill for somebody, and you're just gonna... It's kind of what I do.
I'm a paid assassin.
Now, it's worth...
I know.
It's worth mentioning, too, by the way. Just because it's been so long, I'll remind you, he never said kill. He said he wanted to trade your services. I forgot what you bought from him.
Bag of tricks.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky Charms are expensive. This is where Wesley leaves the call again.
I gave up on life.
Alright,
These ones, they're too much.
so, does Soulmane want to, or actually, we'll handle that, and you guys can meet back up in the, Market Square after Soulmane gets his, contract. So, finding, the Old Strange Foreigner, you go back to, his stall in the market, to see him packing up for the evening. When you, come by, he is going to seem very excited to see you and start rubbing his hands and says, "Ah, it's my friend, welcome back."
Of course. There are a lot of things I do that I would do for money, but if there's a deal involved, I don't go back on it.
He is going to, he's gonna nod and say, yes, so the job I need you to do. It's one that should be very, simple for somebody such as yourself.
Alright, and what does it entail?
He's going to, scratch the, back of his head and says, "A certain artifact, right now in, inside of Weir that, doesn't belong here. It's in the Sage's Tower. Perhaps you could just, you know," and he gestures, like climbing, and then puts his hand forward and sticks it inside of his shirt, and then raises his eyebrows to you.
Soulmane will hold up his hand and say no more.
Are we around? Are our characters around?
No, everybody's about to meet back up in the market square.
Okay.
He is going to nod and say, yes. Well, it is a orb of sorts, except it has many flat sides. It's round, but not really, and it sparkles blue.
Okay.
He points to the northern part of the city, to the Sage's Tower, and says, it's in there. Return it to me whenever you get a hand on it, and our deal will be considered complete.
Soulmane pulls up his scarf over his mouth, nods to him, and walks away.
Alright. Is Elsie trying to do something before Malik comes to talk to the party?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
That was significantly more not clear.
Sorry, my cat was lying on the mic. I'm so sorry.
That's good. I can hear you now.
Okay, I said no, but as Malik walks up to the group, she's gonna glare at him.
Alright. Yeah, the group is meeting back up in the market square. You guys have an Elena mission, a Malik mission, and a Soulmane mission.
Okay, I think we should do every one of those except Malik.
Last time her cat was trying to eat her taco, this time it's muffling her mouth.
Look, I love this cat. You talk shit about this cat, I'm gonna kill your character. I'll shove your character into the death pit.
Hey, let's keep it in game.
So, I mean, it is in game.
Oh, you guys have a NPC with you. Hilarious is still there.
Oh.
Oh yeah, the scribe!
She's not with.
Yeah, scribe with quotation marks. She has been forbidden from writing. Dirge said he was going to get her a new book, and then Dirge had to obey the will of his vampire lord, and then you guys never saw him again.
Yeah. Factoid I'm still a little bit upset about.
Can I go buy her a book right now?
Yeah, that can be something you do.
Alright, I'm gonna buy her a book. I'm gonna buy her the nicest book I can find.
Alright, the nicest book you can find is going to be 25 gold. I don't even have to look at that. Because I remember that from the player's handbook.
Yep.
That is,
Wanna buy that for her.
that is leather bound with gilded inlet on it.
Okay.
Evens, it's got papyrus pages. Odds, it's got parchment. It is made of papyrus.
That's slightly better, or?
That is just something you guys know. As players, you guys should already know the answer to that. If Elsie doesn't remember, history check, DC 15.
God damn it, I gotta go to the store, hang on.
You don't have to roll it if you don't want to. It's not super important.
God damn it,
Would you like me to roll it for you?
Yes, please.
Alrighty, I'm pulling up your character sheet now.
All I can say is one of those would make for an even funnier interaction out of this than it should be.
Let's see. History check. Elsie gets a nat 20 and remembers that her, not her cousin, but I guess her friend-in-law, as Anadelia is a good family friend, her cousin deals in livestock, particularly magical livestock, and she also makes parchment out of the skins of those animals. Parchment that she then sells across the country, and she has a special ledger that can scry on and read on anything that's been written on that parchment. That is how Anadelia was tracking you guys before.
So is it good that I buy that paper?
Yeah, not every piece of parchment in the country, you know, Anadelia can see on, but no piece of papyrus, well, I guess papyrus just isn't, papyrus is made of plants, and parchment's made of animal skin, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well then, I just buy her the nicest book.
Alright, adding it to her inventory.
Yeah, I buy her the book and I hand it to her, and I was like, here's a gift from me to you. Because you're my favorite person here.
She's gonna attach it to the chain across her belt. And you guys have a official scribe again.
Does Malik hear that I say that she's my favorite person?
No, not really. I mean, Malik's perception is kind of bad. Well, I guess I don't know. Passive perception of 13. Would that make me aware of that?
Oh yeah, I mean, she's not hiding it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Malik takes note of this. Does nothing about it.
Anybody looking at Hilarious writing now? The first note in her book is going to be petty insult, and then Elsie, and an arrow pointing to the name Malik.
Malik will turn towards Hilarious and say, "Oh, write down a potential contact. Cantier? She's a merchant." He says to Hilarious.
She begins writing, and it is the awkward moment of being between a mom and father who are both struggling for the child's attention. No, don't do that! But he...
Malik will then turn to Elsie and say, "Now, pettiness aside, I think that was kind of mean."
You know what? There's a lot of things mean that you did, but I guess we're not going to talk about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're still here and still adventuring with us, so clearly something still matters to you here.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab our scribe and like wrap my arm around her and hold her like that. She's like, "Yeah, my best friend here."
All right.
Very excitedly, you're going to see her write in the book, like, best friend, and then the date next to it. It is recorded for all of time.
Yep.
So it is.
Soulmate's gonna look over at Rack and just go, "This is why I only deal with people that end up dead when I'm done with them."
I'm sorry, say again?
Soulmate's gonna look over at Rorak and just go, "And this is why I only deal with people that end up dead when I'm done with them."
Rorak was kind of sitting down against one of the stalls that have been closed down, and when you pat him up, he's like, "Hey, who?
Nothing. Human drama.
What?
Oh, Wesley, I forgot. I just rolled for you for today about what we discussed.
Oh, yeah.
Rorak sees one person and can only... I'm sorry, he sees two smoke people and can only hear one of them.
You changed my age.
I don't know. Normally I'm the only person who can change another person's character sheet. So you...
Well, suddenly Elsie is 14.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might have just changed it. But anyways, for the other players, Roak looks like a crazy person.
He was doing the old man snooze against one of the stalls just then.
Malik will look to Hilarious and say, "Well, we're about to be heading out to do some investigation. Could get dangerous, so you'd best stay here. We wouldn't want you getting hurt in any scuffles, not like last time." Turning to Soulmane and Roak, he says, "So, I could use your assistance. Want to come along? Could be fun. Might be people that we are allowed to eat."
No, Gibraltar, he's not making sense. Oh, yes, yeah, sure.
Soulmate looks at Malik. 100 gold.
Malik puts 100 gold in Soulmane's hand and says, "Done. Come on."
Why does he get
Before
paid?
he punches his hand, he goes, "And not from the share that's mine in the bag you're holding."
Malik looks over himself and says, "I don't follow."
you are given the rest of my cut from Elena. I'm saying the gold I'm asking is from you, not her.
I'm not sure I have 100 gold that wasn't given to me by Elena. I'm gonna go with a deception check to try and convince him that that is gold from my own pouch.
Go for it.
Ooh. What are you talking about? That is gold from my own pouch.
As he hides the pouch behind his back.
If you don't have it, then I will make an offer. I have my own side job to do while I'm here. If I help you with this, you will help me with mine.
I mean, I assumed that we were going to be partners in this whole thing to some degree, so a little bit of scratch your back, scratch my back was kind of implied.
Very well, then.
Alright. Is yours any more time sensitive than mine is?
Well, it depends. Mine can be done as long as we're here in the town. But I guess our time constraint is we need to meet up with Elena in 10 days.
Right, right.
6.
Well, 6?
6.
I thought it was 10.
We have to meet her in 10, but we have to leave at 6 to make it a 9.
6.
Right!
Well, in any case, I need to go and find out some things about one Captain Lilith Alex. She's apparently a little bit on the corrupt side, and I was hoping that she might be able to point us towards a certain circle that I'd like to keep tabs on.
This involving those vampires you mentioned earlier?
Malik hesitates noticeably because he doesn't have the greatest wisdom, and then
Soulmane will hold up his hand, seeing the hesitation, and just be like, "Fair enough, let's go."
Malik nods. He looks at Soulmane and says, "You wouldn't happen to know anything off the top of your head about Captain Thalix, would you?"
Would I know anything about her from this town?
Soulmane would have done business here probably long ago. You can roll me a history check. She is not a super nationwide important political figure. By the way, I just had to handle a chart. No, Soulmane would not remember her. He stayed away from the guards when he had to do stuff here. I was putting together a chart I was supposed to put together for Wesley a while ago. Wesley, the two figures you can see, Roak has come to know as Drydarius and Gibralton, and Drydarius is the one he can hear. As Malik is talking, by the way, Drydarius says to Roak, Malik is good warrior. Will make good defender on the Aramir. Kill him, you should.
You're not making sense today.
That is all he says.
Explain yourself, you wretch.
Malik will glance at Rogue. What?
Shh.
Malik will shrug and lead the way.
I understand the bird people less than I understand the humans.
Yeah.
Well, that makes two of us.
I just would like you guys to get comfortable, because there is going to be a lot of Roak probably being insane. Anyways,
it's not a nice thing to say, Brandon.
You guys are looking for Captain Thalix?
Yes.
Alright, You are able to do so, or rather, you are able to find her pretty easily. There is a barracks on the north side of the central island, just past the squeezeway. That the command structure for the town guard is held at. However, this is not like a power structure of, where soldiers and stuff are kept. It's more of a bureaucracy building. Walking into here, you guys are going to once you get inside from the cold, you are going to be in the most lavish bureaucratic building you have ever seen. Immediately, the large wooden doors behind you are closed. There are 3 sets of servants here, and each of them are wearing a slave's collar, and are being ordered about by by what appears to be a merchant of the ruby. In the center of the room here, there is a small pool into the ground, and there are several hearths lit on the sides of this room. However, the pool in the center of the room seems to be filled with warm water. In the middle of the pool, there is a statue rising out of it that appears to be... there are 2 statues, both standing back to back, which appears to be 2 of the ascended gods. From first glance, it is a man with a spear and a woman with no weapons, looking towards the horizon.
That's very interesting, but this detail is immensely boring to Malik.
Yeah. Otherwise, there are people moving all about through the room. The group of servants dedicated to the door do not address you. Their heads stay looking towards the ground.
Okay. Malik is going to he's going to walk towards the group of people that are clustering around the merchant of the ruby, and see if he can pluck away one of the servants.
Okay. You tap one of the servants on the back. She turns. Okay. She turns and looks at you. She is also wearing a ruby pendant. She, however, too, is also wearing a slave collar.
Okay.
As she looks towards you, she bows and says, "Welcome to Captain Felix's quarters."
Yes, about that. We were actually hoping to get a conversation in with her this evening. Is she available?
Before the servant can respond, the man speaking to the large group says, Vayton! Vayton, who is that?
Malik will put up a hand and say, "My apologies. Malik, at your services."
The man steps forward and says, Shianton. And he's going to look down at his ledger and say, "Do you have an appointment?"
Malik will say, not as such, but there was a matter of security that I was hoping to bring to her attention.
He's going to nod and say, "Very well, you can place your request with me and I can deliver it to her. Or maybe for expedited services, something else could be arranged."
I'll take I have no scale of how valuable rubies are here. Can I insight that to see if he's asking me for a bribe? My insight isn't great, but
yeah, go for it.
A shot in the dark than nothing.
Just base out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then
just from what Malik knows already, too.
Okay. I'm gonna take 10 rubies out of my pouch and put them in his hand and say, "Will that do?"
He gestures to Vayton and says, "It'll be more than sufficient for her to run a message." He points to the staircase, the circular staircase leading out of the room, and says, "Fetch Captain Thalix." And
Malik will put a hand forward for a handshake and say, "Many thanks, my good man."
He shakes it, and the servant stops and says, "But what about her leisure time?" He is going to shake his hand, or like brush his hand forward, playing it off, and says, "The merchants of the Ruby have contributed more than enough to merit her taking a minute out of her leisure time to actually do her job." The woman bows and says, "Yes, sir." He turns to Malik and gestures towards the pool in the middle of the room and says, "Would you like to luxuriate while you wait? Servants can attend to you."
Malik will glance somewhat uncomfortably at the slaves. He's a little bit more familiar with their level of status than this man's. He'll shake his head and say, "No, thank you. I've been luxuriating all day, as it were."
He nods and says, "Well, as you were, then they'll attend to anything you need."
Brandon.
Yes.
Did you say a pool, as in like a pool of water?
Yes. It is this room. Hold on, I can draw it out.
I mean, that's.
I don't think I've ever been more afraid that a party member was going to drink out of a body of water.
It is.
Well, in my defense, Roic was born in the desert.
Yeah, it's.
I'm more picturing him like a vulture ducky or rubber ducky moment right now.
Yeah, it's a. It's a half pool, half fountain. However, it does seem that there's if you're looking over at it, it does seem that there's seating inside of it. The water is being steamed as it's pumped in here.
So it'll be about the temperature that Roic is used to.
So, what I would like to, right after he turns around, or right after the dude turns around, everybody would hear like a splash.
Just clothes and armor on?
God, I hope so.
Well, I don't guess about it. He's mostly feathers, but when you ever seen what birds do when they like duck their head and then like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all you really see is just like a flurry of like these like huge black wings and just splashing.
All right.
A few stray feathers flying everywhere.
As you guys are watching the marvel that is Roic splashing in this pool, stepping down these stairs in what appears to be robes, is a woman, and let me pull up her description. Ooh, alright. Blonde hair and a whole bunch of scars. She actually stumbles down she actually stumbles down the last few stairs and yells and says, "Shianton! What have you called me what have you called me down here for?" the man that you guys were addressing before walks to her and says, Captain, these citizens have a matter concerning security that needs your attention. She looks towards the group and says, looks like you guys can handle it yourselves. I'll give you 60 gold bounty reward to kill whoever it is that needs to be killed. Each. Go ahead. Alright. She begins
a finger and opens his mouth to speak, then shuts his mouth for a second. Then opens his mouth again and says, actually, we were hoping that you might be able to offer us some information.
She turns and looks to you. This woman, Malik, just looking at her posture as she's holding to the bottom of the railing of the staircase. This woman looks very drunk. She says, "What information do you want?" Coming down the stairs, the servant that was sent up to the room comes back bearing a sword and a breastplate, and says, "Captain Thalix, your gear." She waves a hand at the servant. The servant still fastens the sword to her waist against her will.
Mm-hmm. Malik will begin an internal monologue that he cut short and say, it has to do with a cabal whose name I'd rather not speak out in the open. Perhaps there is some place more private that we could speak.
She says, before she replies, she puts a hand on the servant's face, pushing her away and says, "Stop!" Ugh!
Malik is regretting this more and more by the second.
I would also like to tap to input the gratuitous splashing and like bird noises in the background.
I'm actually going to roll a die on how this guy's gonna. As lots of things are. Yeah, lots of very quick things. Drydarius is going to say to Roak, "This one is not good warrior, not good guarding life. Kill good, kill her."
Silence.
That
bath time.
Once again, that is all it says to you. Malik, or rather, she's going to gesture to the staircase and say, "Yes, we can speak in my quarters." She looks at the servant and says, "Carry him up there." And she begins clinging to the railing, pulling herself back up the stairs.
Malik will glance towards one of the servants and say, "Hold on to this for me," and toss his flail in their direction. Just kind of disarming.
Alright. The rest of the party follow?
I was going to say...
can stay behind.
Rorik is stepping out of the pool.
Solmine was going to have disguised himself as one of the servants.
With the hat of disguise?
Yes.
Alright, does that require a check for other people to... or is it just against your wisdom save to recognize you? I'm looking it up right now because I don't remember off the top of my head.
It just casts disguise self.
Alright, let me look up disguise self instead, because don't remember that, all the text off of it. I'm just trying to see what, if anybody, like if somebody starts to notice you, what they have to do. Alright, look until the spell ends, 1 foot short, you can't change. For example... Alright, an investigation check against your spell save DC. Okay. And are you going to just do this right in the open?
I figured I would have been hiding in one of the or behind the fountain or something.
Okay, yeah, just go ahead and roll me a stealth check, as you're just trying to get a moment behind the fountain, by yourself. Alright. Yeah,
26.
so, as you notice, most of the people are on one side of the room. Walking around the fountain, you emerge as a different person.
And as they're walking upstairs, I'm going to take Malik's mace, or flail, and say, I will keep it with, I'll carry it with them, so that way if they need it, or when they leave, they can just take it and go.
Alright. Upstairs, this building is going to, it leads into a center chamber, which appears to be a small lobby. There are 5 sets of doors and another staircase that leads up. Captain Thalix walks to the door in the center of the lobby and opens it up to what appears to be personal quarters. Inside is a lavish room. There are several chests along the walls here, but the room itself has an entire dining room, and there are also a multitude of just more fine art that I'm not going to bother describing.
Right, because Malik wouldn't take note of it.
Yeah. However, it does seem she has collected a personal treasury up here. There's a large, probably queen-size bed in the middle of the room, and she walks to the stone table of her dining room that's within her room, brushes off what appears to be several empty wine bottles before stopping at one that still is halfway full, picks it up and brushes the rest onto the floor, bottles breaking, and places the half-full wine jug back down. She sits down at the stone table and says, could I interest you? And she looks at it and says, drink?
Malik will nod and say, who am I to reject hospitality? Especially from someone as prestigious as yourself.
She points to the servant in the room that I guess Soulmane would be standing next to, and the point is kind of at the two of you, and says, "Fetch him jug." The servant looks at Soulmane.
Still holding his flail.
As a kind of, wait, which one of us? She's going to walk over to the cabinets in the dining room, pull out another jug, and pour in a cup, and come and pour Malik a cup.
Okay. Malik will take the cup, and as he takes a sip or two.
I hope I didn't miss anything. I fell asleep.
It is fine. The rest of the group's dealing with a drunk guard captain.
Can I help?
I didn't know if Elsie was there, but I suppose, yeah, she'd be in the lobby. Elsie and Roak would be downstairs. Did Roak head upstairs?
This time the silence is very reassuring.
Yeah, I know, right?
Malik will glance around the room. So it's just him, the disguised Soulmane, who Malik does not know is disguised because perception. What is it?
Yeah. Roak and Elsie can head upstairs if they want. It doesn't seem like...
I was following.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, entering the room then would also be Roak and Elsie.
Okay. Malik will...
Okay, go ahead. I was gonna
Malik
ask somebody what was going on.
Slightly as the two enter and turns back towards the captain. So, tell me, do you... I would like to know a little bit more about the activities of some of the Terrai in this city, particularly a group of them known as either the Twilight Circle or the Twilight Fang.
Let us roll her
What
some...
intelligence?
Let us roll her some checks. She's going to say, yeah, I know them. Good people. Very good people. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Are they people? One's not people.
Right. In any case, I was actually hoping to get to speak with them, but as it turns out, they're unfortunately difficult to get a hand on or get into contact with. And I was hoping that you might be able to assist me in such.
Let me check my notes real quick to see which one would be passing through here that she had contact with. Search feature is the greatest. Oh, by the way, Kaylee, what is currently happening? You guys are in the guard captain's private quarters. It is extremely lavish in here. There is a servant with you guys, and the captain is drinking at her table. It is a stone table that her and Malik are sitting at. Soulmane is, or rather, I guess there is another servant that you guys wouldn't know that is Soulmane's disguised as at the door also. And Roak is there in the room with you. Which, if everybody... Oh no, you guys told Ilarius to stay back in the Grand Market. Anyways...
Yeah. I was gonna see if it was possible for me to pull nobility.
You can try. Not. This woman, by the way, is very drunk. A hard time, or would be a hard chance of her recognizing you. Anyways, though, the Captain Thalix is going to nod and say, actually, haven't seen them much in town lately since the code of the 5. That's where her statement ends, by the way.
Peanut!
Okay, Malik is waiting baitedly for the rest of that sentence, and he kind of makes a go-on gesture with his hand.
She takes a drink of her wine, and then, says, what?
Oh, no, I simply was hoping that you would continue speaking. You have such a charismatic way about your words.
She's going to smile and say, "See, I wish I was a good talker all the time. No. Thalix had to go and be a killer, though. Best soldier, promoted to guard captain, who knows where, but poetry." Her statement ends there. I feel like I should just keep
Okay.
telling you guys that she is
no,
having.
I got it.
Yeah, she's having streams of thoughts, and in her head, it seems that she's having a whole conversation with you. But it's you're more so getting the C.S. Lewis of just what the thought was about.
Right. Malik will begin to pick up on this rather slowly and continue nodding and say, "Right, I know how you feel. My lot in life isn't quite as much as I had hoped it would be either."
He's gonna glare again.
He'll say, "But you were saying about the Twilight Circle. They haven't been in town much lately?"
She's going to snap and say, yeah, that cult, New Religion, moved in, and they just kind of, dispersed out of town. They were pushing for me to open up another, or to allow another chantry to open up here, but that...
The cult of the Fifth Ascendant, you mean?
She, says, "Oh, what about them? They're so pleasant." She points to a mahogany, statue in the room, and says, "That's, from their leader."
Very, very fine craftsmanship, I see. So, you wouldn't, they wouldn't have happened to mention the Twilight Circle, that is, where they might have been heading to out of city? You said they dispersed.
She, nods and says, "Yeah, wanted me to open up allow the Chantry of Concordant, or not Concordance, I'm sorry, Discipline, to open in town, but,
Malik nods and says, "Right, but their whereabouts? As I said, they've been difficult to contact, and I was just hoping to possibly do that from Guru. Or however you pronounce this dumb city's name."
Queer. She is going to, clap and say, "Oh, not, difficult at all. They love writing. You know they send me letters, right?"
Malik shakes his head and says, "I did not actually."
She snaps, to Soulmane and says, "Get the one that came, last week."
Okay. Soulmane will head over to the desk and start doing an investigation, see if he can find a letter that looks recent.
Alright, roll me a investigation check. Alright, Soulmane is, going to see a, myriad of, letters, on this lady's, desk. As far as, looking for one from the Twilight Fang, he is going of... I'm thinking of if Soulmane would know who these, names are. He is going to see several important looking letters. However, he's not going to... None of them are going to be signed, from the Twilight Fang.
No, he's looking more for ones that are, dated within the last week or so.
Okay, yes, he does, he finds 5 so letters.
Soulmane will grab all 5, bring them over to the captain and go, I'm not sure which one exactly it was, milady, but these are all within the last week.
She is, going to take the letters from Soulmane and say, useless. It's the one that says the thing he wants. Let us see. She's going to look through the letters, and she's going to scratch her head and say, "What were we talking about again?"
The Twilight Fang. They send you a lot of letters?
She nods and says, "Ah, yes." And she's going to pull out one and scribble on it, or rather, gesture to her other servant and say, "I need a quill." The woman's going to run to the desk and bring one back. And she's going to start writing on the letter, and then look down and say, "I need ink too! Come on!" She's going to stand up from her seat and stumble over to her desk. The letter she had in hand is still on the desk. She comes back with a quill in hand and sits down at the table. She dips the ink and quill and starts writing on the letter, and then hands it to Malik and says, "See, so polite." When she hands Malik the letter, he can see he can read the first paragraph of the letter. It is a introduction praising Captain Thalix and saying that they shipped her a rare. Let me go back to her art collection. A rare etching of a Lil Nagillian hero, done in a new popular style of art that's taking off in a Lil Nagai. And then it also goes on to state that we're going to need you to... the guard captain has scribbled through most of the letters, or most of the words, and what he's explaining for her to do. It appears, though, that something in Southport came through here. The letter is signed Athuatus.
Okay. I will take note of that name. Malik will look over the letter for a couple more moments, memorizing a couple of details, such as the sending of such a painting. Is it mentioned at all where this painting is supposed to show up?
It was most likely, Malik can conjecture, is most likely delivered with the letter.
Okay. In that case, yeah, Malik would know nothing about Ilderon Tales heroes or art styles. Not exactly
Would
his
any
thing.
of us know?
That's an excellent point. He will instead look down at the letter and look back to the captain and say, would it be, do you think it would be possible for you to possibly see if you could arrange a meeting between me and one of their members?
No, I was asking Brandon if like any of the other PCs would know.
About a Lil Nagillian art? Soulmane might have an idea. Elsie would probably have a good idea. She grew up in the Tide Gate.
Do I have to roll a history check for that?
No, you don't. As far as the new style, it doesn't go into describe the style, but her room, by the way, is filled with, like, lavish artwork. Like the fountain at the.
There's better art in my room.
To be fair, Malik probably didn't read that out loud, so we actually don't know what's going on in that context.
Yeah,
yeah, but he could like turn to us and ask us.
yeah. Elsie just looking
Well,
around the room is going to like see artwork and stuff from all different types of culture and places around the world. But anyways, you asked for her to set up a meeting.
Yes.
She is. She's going to nod and say, I haven't seen Matthew in weeks. But of course I'll write him on your behalf.
Right. If you could mention a couple of additional details, just let him know that you've seen a woman named Elena at the Morning Falcon Inn.
She nods and says, now, of course, there's the tariff for using the local guards as a messenger service, the ink and the cost of the paper. She tries to think and then snaps at.
I was about to say, for being very drunk, she's suddenly very good at math.
Yeah, she tries to think and then snaps at Soulmane and gestures for him to come closer. She whispers towards him, but it's pretty audible. She says, extort him, but don't make it seem illegal. You know.
Soulmane.
Do we understand and hear that?
Yes. Everybody in the room hears that.
I am going to butt in.
Malik engages poker face.
Okay.
Malik engages poker face and then just looks at Kaylee. Like, not in any sort of way, just kind of a blank expression.
Soulmane kind of turns his eyes and gives
Do you want me to do something, Malik?
Grin.
Malik very subtly shakes his head.
Yes, no.
And he will whisper back, of course. And he'll say it in a way that, trying to get Malik to understand that it's him, I'll tell him that it's 100 gold.
She slaps the she slaps the stone table and says, so yes, be praised, 100 gold for a letter. If he's stupid enough to accept it, we'll do it.
Of course.
She looks to
really trying on this poker face, y'all.
Yeah, she looks to Malik and gestures back to Soulmane and says, one of the servants will walk you through the charges associated with guard doing things.
Malik,
doing things?
Malik will stand and kind of bow deeply from the waist and say, many thanks, my lady. And then he'll turn towards the servant and say, perhaps we could allow her to rest for a moment while we discuss such business procedures.
I think that would be most wise.
She is going to point towards the woman who brought her the inkwell and say, Vea, you make the letter with the things he said about Nah. The woman corrects her and says, my name's Vayton, and he said Elena. She gestures, brushing off the woman, and says, yeah, whatever. That.
and Soulmane will go up to the rest of the group. If you would follow me, we will discuss the matters of cause for such a letter private, so that way the lady may rest.
She is going to, as she walks over to the bed, she falls down on it and appears to be sleeping. As you guys walk out of the room, you're going to hear an exclamation from the other side of the door. Hot damn, 100 gold!
I'm gonna lean over to Malik and I wanna ask, are we really gonna give him 100 gold?
Malik will glance over at, will look to Elsie and just kind of make a slashing motion at his throat. Like, with, kind of, less as a, I'm going to slit your throat, and more of a, not now!
And as Soulmane is leading them,
Also, would like to try and shoot Malik.
he turns back and looks at Malik and says, I told you my help here would cost you 100 gold.
Malik, finally putting 1 and 1 together, will have this expression of enlightenment wash over his face, and then resume the poker face.
Soulmane is going to go back down to where the Merchant of the Ruby member was.
Okay. Back down to the main lobby.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to... There's someone still there, right?
Yes. This area seems to be managed by him, although it seems to be more so a large lounge than a, like, what you'd expect of, like, a secretary for a building like this.
Hold on 1 second, sorry.
Alright,
sorry, Soulmane is going to go up to the person at the desk and go... What was her name?
There is no desk. This whole area is just a massive lounge with the pool in the middle. The Merchant of the Ruby, you guys met 2 of them. Vayton was the one upstairs, the slave, and then you guys met Shianton, who was the man ordering people about.
Shianton's the one I'm looking for.
Yes, that is the male merchant down here that seems to be managing everybody.
Okay. I will inform him that the captain is sending out a letter on Malik's behalf. Charges have already been taken care of.
As you guys are walking, by the way, Dryderius is going to say to Roat, one who wears many faces. Death likes this. You should kill him so she can meet ye.
You say that about everybody.
The smoke goes quiet.
So is our business by and large concluded?
Yeah, when you talk to the Xian, he is going to look at you, rubbing his chin and says, I don't believe we've met before. Are you in my employ?
I was recently brought in just today. As they felt that there was not enough servitude around.
Roll me a deception check.
Not great.
He's going to nod and say, I hate when the shadow handles things behind my back. He gestures you off and says, very well, if it's taken care of, you don't need to inform me.
Of course. I will show them out then.
He nods and says, and when you're done, return. There's sea stone that needs scrubbing.
Of course. And as they walk out and he shows them out and shuts the door, tips his hat again, changes back to himself.
What about the sea stone, though?
Are you asking me that?
Huh? Yes, I'm asking you that as a player.
Fuck that shit.
Anyways, alright, so you guys are on the streets of Guir at night.
I give Matt back his mail.
Okay. After we're a decent amount of distance away from the guardhouse, Malik's gonna turn to Elsie and say, "What in the name of the Acetars is your problem?"
What's your problem?
It's called finesse. You are so lucky that she was drunk out of her mind that she couldn't even tell that you were trying to insult her.
Excuse me. What the hell did I say? I barely talked in there.
Yeah, and you almost blew it too. Do you realize how close I am getting to hunting these monsters down?
You are making 0 sense right now.
Malik will shake his head and say, "Fine," and just storm back towards the end.
No, we're talking about this shit. I barely said a goddamn word, but somehow it's my fault?
Yes, maybe you don't understand how much is at stake here, but I do, and I kind of care about this situation personally. Maybe it doesn't matter to you that we never get Dirge back from their clutches, but he was my friend, okay?
You've not given any of us a reason to care.
Malik glances at Roic and begins to say something, thinks better of it, stops, looks back to Elsie and says, "Look, I'm sorry, I'm a little on edge lately. Things have been kind of insane these past few weeks."
Yeah, think.
But we're going to need to work together, at least to some degree.
I think we're working great together. Are there things you would like to talk about, Malik?
Malik will glance back to Solmane and then to Elsie again and shake his head and say, "No."
You sure? Maybe between us?
Well, I don't know. Was there ever that much between us to begin with?
What do I gotta roll for Elsie to smack the shit out of Malik?
You gotta beat his AC.
My AC is 24, bring it!
Yeah, you can smack Malik, but it might not even phase him. By the way, Wesley, I didn't want to interrupt the roleplay happening. Drydarius whispered, or rather hissed to Roak.
God damn it, I got a 19.
Yeah, that's a pretty good slap. Malik just takes it full face, like not even flinching. You did not beat his AC.
Yeah. All the same, Malik is going to shake his head and say,
Elsie's walking away. She ain't gonna listen to him.
He'll shout after her, "We're past idle thrill-seeking at this point."
She's gone. She ain't talking to him no more.
Alright. Alright, so, are you guys staying at the Morning Falcon?
No. We were staying at whatever, whatever tavern, inn, etc. we were staying at before.
Okay, you guys
What the hell is going on now?
Yeah, you guys, had just blown into town today. The 10th of, Priestess is the current day. It is the nighttime of the 10th of Priestess. And it is your, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is the nighttime of the 10th of Priestess. You can stay at the Tanaku, which is the lair of the 5th Ascended. That was the first place Elena took you guys while you were in town.
Alright, in that case, is there an inn that's somewhat adjacent to the Morning Falcon?
Let's see. The Morning Falcon is in Southport. What else is in Southport? Let's see. We can roll one up. I only rolled up one for each part of town, so... that's going to be the most popular one, and we'll make a random one for... there is a, while Malik was on that side of town, he would have noticed another place, called the, Lucky Coin Tavern, that actually seemed pretty nice, from what he can tell.
You said Lucky Coin?
Yes. And it is, just seeing the people who are walking, in and out of there, as you're leaving, it is going to be, significantly nicer than the Morning, Falcon.
They've been on the living room, they're complaining and complaining about
in that case, Malik will figure out how much rooms are and get 2 rooms.
Alright, it's on the, it's just near the, ports. Or, I'm sorry, the docks. And, the rooms there are going to be rather expensive. You're looking at a overpriced aristocratic stay, which would be... Oh, I'm in the DMG. It's in the player's handbook. I always forget about that with, like, hirelings and, inn prices.
Yeah.
Let's see. For lifestyle, at overpriced aristocratic, you'd be looking at 12 gold per room, and that does not include meals per day.
I saw that, Rick, right?
12 gold a day?
This place is nice! So where the, Cantier took you to drink?
How many people can fit to a room?
Well, I mean, these are going to be, like, super nice, large, aristocratic rooms made for, like, one person and their servants. You could fit your whole party in one of these rooms, although, you know, they'd look at you weird like, wait, you guys don't want 6 separate rooms? Because we can do that here.
Malik will say, no, and gestures to the rest of the party and says, this is my entourage. I prefer to be heavily guarded. And heavily armed, as you can no doubt tell.
Alrighty, yeah, for, let's see, bartender for this place.
I just can't roll high. I'm good at deception, I swear, guys.
They're not going to question you. Whatever Malik's into is what Malik's into.
Fair enough.
The difference, though, is going to be the place Cantier took you and here. She took you to where the common folk hang out. This is, you know, where the people who are only here to oversee a shipment come in for. But nonetheless, Malik is given a large room for 12 gold, and for an additional 4 gold, that will include a meal for Malik.
Just for me?
Yes.
You know what? I've got oh no,
I'm sorry. That 12 gold does include food.
But just for me.
Yes. Yes, the 12 gold includes food, but not for everybody else.
Right. Okay. In that case, Malik will shrug and say, "My servants have their own food."
Alrighty.
I'd like to point out that Elsie is not there.
Sure.
Now, I will need you to tell me where Elsie's going.
Probably as far away as Malik as she can.
Alrighty, it's getting...
Probably going to a different bar.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's getting late, so go ahead and tell me what part of town Elsie's staying in. Because Gwir is... and I'm just... I'm not going to front with you. Gwir is very much the type of place you can get robbed at. Kidnapping people and selling them to the arena is a very popular way to make some money.
Yeah, she's going to a different bar, probably like down the street.
Okay,
so get into kidnapping.
Well, you brought this on yourself, Malik. Congratulations.
Yeah, Elsie. Elsie.
I don't think this is the type of party to go after you if you get kidnapped. You might just be on your own.
Yeah, Elsie can find a room just across the street at the Morning Falcon. She can also sit in the same chair where her beloved Malik had tea with another woman, and just, play sad 90s music.
She is getting drunk off her ass tonight.
Oh, man, it's not the 90s music. You gotta have them 80 ballads, my dude.
Alrighty,
like Whitesnake.
I'm going to, Kaylee, I'm going to have you roll me a flat d20. And
it's a flat d20.
Yeah, just go with the flat d20, man.
Shit. My controller just died. Can you do that for me, please?
Yeah. I will roll one for you for everybody to see. It came up as a 4.
Congratulations, you're a mail order bride now.
Nice.
As Elsie is sitting here drinking this night, she has no sort of impulse control.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, you between your end stay and your drinks, you are going to rack up a 40 gold bar tab before the night is over.
Alright. I can afford that.
Alright, the house special here?
How intoxicated is she, though? I should probably ask that.
I'll let you decide that. Go ahead and roll me... I'll roll you... I will decide that for you. I'm gonna roll you a Constitution save.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, that's good.
For each hour, it's going to increase by 2, starting from 9 to midnight. So 3 hours with 10, 12, and... I'm sorry, yeah, 10, 12, and 14 with the final one.
Okay.
Elsie actually, has a pretty good constitution. Elsie takes all of those drinks like a champ, just going and going and going until
she's very sad.
By midnight, she is
drunk.
hammered. She fails the final save.
Yeah, she's a sad drunk, I'd like to add.
Yeah. Now, also, I want you to know, that is what Elsie does in 3 hours. I did not do the entire night for you. That is before...
Oh.
Yeah, that is till midnight. You are back in control of your character by this point. Elsie, is just face down on a table, realizing she's made some awful decisions. There are all these, loud people around her.
What decision did she make?
She just spent 40 gold drinking herself into nearly a coma. Now, I mean, you can tell me Elsie just spends, the rest of the morning until she passes out here. But I just figured I'd let you have the option to stop her.
Yeah, she's gonna drink until she's got that good like buzz going on that last drink, and she's gonna kind of mope.
All right.
And she's gonna pull. Okay, go ahead.
So as Elsie is moping there, two people are going to notice her and come sit at her table. They one looks foreign, the other one is to Elsie's best decision, or rather her best way of like just making out this person's features. They are not human. They're somewhat monstrous. She can't just really tell what they are. Their form just keeps shifting to like her vision.
I sense a side quest coming up.
Elsie is going to hear wub rub wub rub 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 rub.
Damn moon speak.
Do you want to make an insight check to try and make out what they said, or do you just want to nod at them?
Am I really that drunk?
Let's see. So these are common drinks at 2 silver a gallon, but I'm assuming Elsie's drinking wine, which would be a whole bottle for 10 gold. So you are 4 bottles in.
So I'm that drunk.
Yeah.
Great. Alright. Yeah, let's roll an insight.
Alright, I'll go ahead and roll it
shot.
for her. Insight. Nat 20. Look at Elsie go. She's gonna get up off the table and
I would think drunkenness would confer a disadvantage.
You know what? JD does have a point there.
Oh, goddamn, JD.
She's gonna.
So 16. It's not bad.
Yeah, she's gonna get up off the table and just like pinch her, or rather, just thinking on this. And the word she's gonna put together is they ask something about where she's headed.
Oh, okay. Where did they say my brother was again?
Elena said she'd introduce you to him. I don't think she told you a location. Did I give you a location?
You gave me a location. I just don't know.
Let me check Elsie's card real quick, because I did see I had some additional notes on her card. I just... I pulled this card out at the start of the session, and I skimmed it, and I was like, "Yep, oh, here it is." All right, let's see, brother. I have written on here Red Hawk's Nest.
Okay, then I'm gonna tell him that I'm heading there.
Huh. Okay. I just had to think for a second. I might have been drunk when I put that note on here. Yeah, that's why, I like when you guys take notes and remind me of stuff, because then it, pushes me back of just like, oh yeah, I guess I did say that. Anyways, when you say Red Hawk's Nest, they're going to pat Elsie on the shoulder, and she is going to hear luck. She feels that their hands definitely lingered way too long as they're walking away.
I'm gonna kind of ignore it.
Alrighty.
Get up. I get up and I'm gonna walk to the bar and I'm gonna ask them if they rent rooms here.
The bartender is going to God
damn it. God damn it, Brandon.
Elsie cannot make out what he's saying. He is going to step from behind the bar, hoisting Elsie up over his shoulder and start carrying her.
Oh, great. Great. Where is he taking?
He brings
Brandon, choose wisely.
He brings Elsie upstairs and places her in a room. He says something else that Elsie can't understand, and I'll just go ahead and preemptively roll you another insight check.
Oh god, no.
Yeah.
This is what you get for eating Tide Pods.
Yeah, he puts you down on a bed and walks out, closing the door behind him.
Alright. Preemptively, my character's gonna lock the door.
Alrighty.
Now the question is, can she make it across the room?
And then back.
I love.
Well, I don't think it matters if I get back.
I love that I love that I told you earlier you racked up a 40 gold tab, including your in room, and then Elsie walks up and's like, "Do you guys rent rooms here?" It's like, "Don't you remember you rented one already? The want a room." It's like, all right, let's just put you down.
I'll lock the door.
A good bartender.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but if the 1 or 2 times that I have been that wasted, the second my head hit the pillow, I was out.
Yeah.
Why don't you shut the fuck up?
No, she can lock the door perfectly fine. Elsie can be like in fear from her safety. Like she could be seeing Roak figures right now telling her to kill people.
Yeah. I'm gonna lock the door and then I'm gonna cry all night. Yeah, Elsie's gonna lock the door, go back to the bed, and cry all night.
Beautiful! Alright, so Elsie has had...
This suddenly turned into an episode of Citrus, somehow.
It's so beautiful! Elsie
Are you
has
sure
had...
you don't want another round of Four Loco?
She cries harder than when she was left at the altar.
Four Loco!
Alright, so the rest of the group inside of the lucky coin.
Let's get crunk, bitches!
This coming out of the mouth of a bird, man, is very terrifying.
Yeah.
What the hell is going there?
This is something I just need to know because is Roak drinking, Wesley?
Can birds drink alcohol?
I mean, it's not good for them.
Well, wait a second.
He's a bird man.
Birds do eat fermented berries and get drunk all the time.
Here's a funny thing about Roak. He's actually, this is going to sound in, he's addicted to water, like fresh water.
Okay.
Just from where he came from, the desert.
Okay, so he suggests that we get wasted and then comes back with like a pitcher of tap water, basically.
No, he really, really likes fresh water. Because he wants, like, he was stuck, backstory real quick, he was stuck in the desert for like 3 or 4 weeks and almost died of exposure. And so ever since then, every time he can get him, it's just sort of ingrained in his, so he doesn't really partake in alcohol too much. He thinks it's a waste of perfectly good water. But
so
he would probably be more focused if he was drunk. But
the things talking to Roak are all going to be making, and this is just for the duration of the campaign, are going to be making different suggestions in different ways. So I just want as many opportunities to let you know what they're saying, so Roak can make out their alignments and who he should and shouldn't listen to.
That sounds fair enough.
Anyways, though, the rest of the night for you guys, if the party's turning in, that was your event die. Rest of the night. Oh yeah, Soulmane. Is he going out to take care of that thing? You know, that thing.
That's part of what I was about to do. Is I was going to go up to Malik.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did your job. You want to help me with mine tonight, or do you want to wait?
Malik shrugs and says, "Well, I haven't been sleeping well as of late, so might as well get myself as tired as possible before, huh? Let's go."
Also, why do you hate these vampires so much?
He'll pause for a moment before he looks up and says, "Just can't stand bloodsuckers, you know?" And that will be a deception check. Hey, there we go. When I'm lying to my party members.
Just because I don't trust anyone as it is.
Fair enough. Oof.
Trust no one.
Hey, I'm a paid assassin. I don't trust shit.
Yeah, it has a lower bonus, rolls higher than me. Okay.
Soulmane won't address it, but he can, or he's wary. Alright, well, my job is a little more possibly in depth than yours. You have to go.
He'll shift in his plate armor and say, maybe not the most appropriate attire then?
Unless you can scale a building and steal an object sneakily in it.
That's going to be a negative.
I love how you have to. There's a job you have to scale a building. You don't ask the party member that can fly.
I thought bird people couldn't fly.
Yeah, dude, he's got 50 feet of fly speed.
As a Arakoa?
Yeah.
From Volo's guide, I didn't recall them having fly speed.
Yeah, he has a fly speed of 50.
And Soulmane does open the invitation to Rorak as well. You feel like breaking into a building and stealing something?
What is Rorak taking?
What was the building? It's the Chantry.
The Sage's Tower.
There's an orb with flat sides inside the Sage's Tower.
Flat sides? You mean the decahedron?
From my best guess, that's what it sounds like, yes.
A deca what now?
Hedron.
Basically, picture a ball with 20 sides.
But then is it a ball? Is it even a ball then?
Alright, Brandon, I got work tomorrow. I gotta call it a night.
Alrighty. I will take over Elsie for you.
Yes. Take good care of her.
Yeah, I will message you if anything happens.
Oh yeah, if I die, I'm definitely gonna, bring in that other character I made.
Alright, enjoy your night.
Yep.
He's going to look to Soulmane and kind of squint at him and say, 100 gold.
You learn fast, Birdman.
Kind of
50 now, 50 at time of completion.
$75.
I pay you 75, that's the full price.
75 is not 100. You're a man that shifts form. Changes your face.
My hat?
I may be stupid, but I'm no fool.
Malik raises a finger and then opens his mouth, then shuts his mouth.
Just brushes Malik with a wing like, shh.
I'll give you 75 now. Upon completion, I will make the decision whether or not to pay the rest. And if we can do this without waking everyone in the whole city up.
Yeah, he's gonna hold out a hand.
Alright. Give him 75.
Hey, that's queer for you. You guys are blending right in. Alright, so, do you guys head towards the Sage's Tower?
Let's see. Plate armor doesn't actually restrict my athletics, just my stealth. So I could do other things, but,
You still might, correct?
yeah.
Yes.
Alright, Malik's just gonna keep his plate armor on then. I'd rather have 24 AC than, you know, have good stealth checks.
Alrighty. Yeah, you guys head towards the Sage's Tower, which is just north of the Grand Market, on the front of town. These buildings are always open. Looking from where you guys are now, you can see straight upwards. The tower seems to hold a elevated temple of sorts. The top of this tower is made for viewing these stars, and there's a large glass orb up there that works as a magnifying glass. The bottom of the tower, however, has... while these buildings most of the time have open doors, there is a gate to the bottom of the tower. It is open, however. Inside, you guys can see a parlor room, but where these are most of the time like open libraries for people moving in and about, there are secondary doors leading to the interior here.
Which floor?
Not sure, but my guess would be the top.
Okay, so Dwarf's gonna take wing then.
Alrighty.
Before you fly off, Dolmain ties a rope to his foot.
Whoa.
Yeah, secure it up there when you get up there, so that way we can climb up.
Yeah, he'll just take the rope. I think Aarakocra have hands, and then they have a separate set of wings.
Yeah, and you can't use your fly speed if you're wearing medium or heavy armor.
It's studded leather.
That is going to be medium armor.
Studded leather should be light armor.
Studded leather is light armor, Brandon.
Oh, okay. Dirt.
Yeah.
You're thinking of hide armor.
Yeah. Well, no, I was thinking of Guild Wars 2. All the leather wearers are called medium armor users. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, you are good then. It's just been forever since I looked at the armor page. Yeah, you fly to the top.
Yeah, he's going. Is this like a steeple roof and then the right underneath it?
Yeah, I can start to draw it out for you. How much rope did Soulmane have?
However much it is, Malik will add will tie his 50-foot length of rope to the end of Soulmane's.
Alright, so 50 plus 50 plus...
Yeah, I got 50 feet.
It looks like this. Those orange lines are pillars, and in between each of those lines is it's completely open, and then on that center roof there is a glass orb that the ceiling is supporting. And we will go to red for the roof. The roof is red. And then the rest of the tower is kind of supporting this structure. Anyways, though, it is the tallest thing on this side of town, and the full 100 feet length of rope would still cause Malik and Soulmane to have to do like a small 15-foot climb by the time Roak gets it secured. Anyways, though, before that even matters, as Roak gets to the top of this star viewing tower, he's going to fly over the edge, and well, I guess he wouldn't have to land first. He's going to see 3 people up top here. They have set up a desk, and one person is observing through the glass orb above them, using a tubular device in their hand, and 2 other people are seem to be marking down in a book as he is talking back to them. Roak sees them before he decides to land up there.
My plan was, are there like, I don't know that would work. Plan was to tie the rope to one of these pillars, just to make sure it's secure.
Well, Roak is a black bird flying against, a black knight, so...
Yeah. If he would be able to land in such an area that it could be, not be observed, because I don't guess it matters which side of the tower it falls from.
Yeah, you can roll me a stealth check for trying to land stealthily. Any positives or negatives? No. None on that. They don't seem to notice you flying around, though, as you are coming up there. If you were like, if it was like daytime, or if you're like a white bird or something, then they'd be rolling against you.
Okay, well, I got a +3, not bad.
All right.
I'm actually I don't want to do this, but I'm going to use inspiration on that.
Okay.
Okay, well, before I did that, I would have cast guidance.
Oh, yeah, I guess you can cast that while you're flying. It's just touch and somatic, right? Or verbal?
Right. It's a cantrip.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Roak is going to land up there, and you want to roll that d4?
Yeah.
Yeah, Roak.
Oops, sorry.
Roak's going to land, and he is going to hear these people observing and making making recordings of the positions of the stars. I will not bore Roak with the details. By the way, Roak is freezing up here. It is bone-chillingly cold.
Happy.
Anyways, he is able to secure the rope around one of the pillars without them noticing.
And he's gonna just fall off the edge and soar down. Sort of just buzz the other two.
Alright, Roak has secured the rope. It is a massive climb up the side of this tower.
He's gonna fly close by them, and he's gonna cast guidance on both of them.
So to even get to the rope, we would need to do a check or no?
Malik would have to do a check. Soulmane, it's, you know, not terribly difficult climbing up this stone tower, these first couple feet. However, climbing the whole length of the rope, Soulmane would have to do a check.
What kind? Athletics, acrobatics?
Yeah, it would be an athletics check of, you know, climbing up and, you know, endurance of, you know, his arms not going noodly halfway up there.
Damn. Guidance, right?
Yep, you get a D4. Alright, so, is Malik going to climb up behind him, or is Malik waiting to see how Soulmane does?
Roak explained that there were people up there. So Malik doesn't feel...
Did he? I think Roak just came down and was buzzing at you guys.
He would... So he's flying close by, kind of circling them. He's gonna just say, "Beware, people above."
All right, yeah. In that case, Malik wouldn't hesitate. Soulmane may need backup pretty much immediately. And if there's one thing that Malik is good at,
all right,
150 feet of rope.
How about that?
Yeah, so Soulmane is going to get about a third of the way up there before the winds and his arms, the winds whipping at him and just his arms kind of give out as he hits a false step on this tower and slips. This is going to happen after he already looks back and sees Malik get just about maybe a... Malik gets up to the rope and tries to start, like, climbing up the rope. And he is going to... he's going to fall down with his plate weighing him down way too much to be able to climb this distance.
Okay, well, maybe if I don't roll a 3!
Malik takes 2 points of falling damage.
Oof.
And Soulmane is going to take much more falling damage, but he has a chance to mitigate it if you want to roll a dex save.
Okay.
So I am following them.
Yes.
Yeah. As we hit the ground, Malik will look over at Salmain and says, "And this is the only way up."
15.
15. You do make the save and roll as you hit the ground. You take half of 11 plus 2. You take half of 13. You take 7 points of damage. And that is both bludgeoning for both of you guys.
By chance, can I use evasion on that since it was a dex saving throw?
I
Where
don't know
if I
the text of evasion.
It says
Sure,
whenever
if
you
it's...
need to make a dexterity saving that involves you taking half damage.
Yeah, you'd
if I
be able...
succeed, I take no damage, and if I fail, then I take half.
Yeah, you'd be able to use evasion, just rolling and, you know, just kind of looking up and cursing.
I guess
I don't know if
go in
it's
the
like
front
danger
door,
sense
but-
or something. Let's see.
Is Malik lying on his back at this point?
No, I don't think you'd be able to use evasion on that. It's not an effect. You're just falling and taking fall damage.
That's fine. That's why I asked.
Is Malik laying down on his back still?
I imagine he's up and swearing at Soulmane.
I wouldn't say swearing, but he is going to groan a little bit.
Cast gentle repose on the both of them.
Malik will look to Roic and say, "Not now!"
That last attempt, I was just getting ahead of him.
I guess we can go in through the front, but we're more likely to get caught that way.
All right, we'll give this one more shot. But if I break my ass on this, all right.
Guidance.
I don't have inspiration. What did I use my inspiration on? I regret using it on whatever I used it. All right, here we go. Let's not roll a 3.
It's only a d6 per 10 feet. Well, you didn't roll a 3.
Amazing.
To 3.
I'll give you my inspiration. So roll the.
No. I'll take a little bit of the fall. How much damage is this going to be, Brandon?
It's not going
Or
to be.
did I even make it?
Yeah, you don't
enough?
make it 10 feet to justify me even rolling a die for Malik.
Okay, I just fall square on my ass. I'm gonna go again.
This okay. This is a.
Okay, there. See, fine. All right. And the default. Okay.
Oh my goodness
Make it up.
gracious! Yeah, this is a hard check, by the way. So is Malik leading the way?
You don't say.
Yeah, Malik is scaling this tower in spite of bitter winds, in spite of his groaning, aching muscles. He is pulling himself hand by hand up here, plate armor and all. For the as Malik gets to the top level of this tower, he is experiencing light fatigue. For the next half hour, he's going to be rolling all athletic checks with disadvantage.
Okay.
But he makes it, peeping over the side of the railing. Does he want to roll a stealth check before he gets up there?
Is there a place for me to wait for Soulmane to make it up? Or do I just roll on into this?
From just how this area is structured, these pillars are between the center of, or rather between the center of this area and the railing. There are these pillars with maybe a 2 feet of walk space or so. You could feasibly hide behind one of these pillars And that's what the rope's tied to, so nobody's looking directly at you. What you'd have to worry about people noticing is, you know, the sound from your plate mail.
Correct. Okay. Here we go. Stealth check with disadvantage.
Nice. So
I'm not at all surprised.
yeah, Malik gets up there just
Still got still got the gonna give him that inspiration.
I don't think it would matter, because if he's at disadvantage, it means it would just make it the first roll anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. Precisely. Did Roat cast guidance on me again as I was scaling?
Yeah, this climb took a good 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, like he's just that vulture circling the background.
Okay, so does a 4 make any difference?
We will see. So does Soulmane climb up directly behind Malik, or does he wait to see if Malik's gonna fall and bash him and crush him against the ground?
Oh no, I was waiting until he got up there.
Alright, so it's going to be a little while before Soulmane's up there to join you, so go ahead and roll me the climb check for Soulmane. Soulmane is actually going to
use my action on that.
Okay, Soulmane is actually going to climb a lot quicker too than Malik.
Yes,
the
I
guy
bet because he doesn't have plate mail on.
So 19 altogether?
Okay, give me 1 second, because you're rolling with a slightly different check than Malik. Once again, because of the aforementioned plate mail.
What's happened, you guys? What can't we...
So, JD beat his check of 25. Soulmane is going to get halfway up before this wind starts getting to him. You were 1 short of 20.
Right.
Yeah, your grip is going to slip. I will let you decide. You start falling. You fall at starting your first couple seconds 30 feet per round, because I don't feel like mathing it out. You can do something before you hit the ground.
Can I try to do acrobatics to try to grab back onto the rope?
You can. Is Soulmane wearing gloves is another thing I want to know. Because you can stop from taking 5d6 of falling damage, but you might take some fire damage from rope burn.
I don't have gloves listed as one of my... I have basic clothing and stuff.
All right, go ahead and roll me a dexterity save, or I'll let you choose a sleight of hand to try and grab the rope again. I will let you make your choice: acrobatics, dexterity save, or sleight of hand. You can.
They're all exactly the same.
Okay.
Really don't matter.
Yeah, I'm imagining you can miss Mission Impossible, like maneuver yourself towards the rope, or try and grab it. You are going to grab a hold of this rope. As you do, just trying to slow yourself down and slamming against this tower, you're going to take 1 point of fire damage from just burning against your skin, and 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit back into the tower. You do not lose very much height at all. From here, you can breathe a little bit and continue your climb, making another check. It is not going to be as difficult, but it's still pretty hard.
And I don't have my inspiration anymore. So I'll do 13.
Alright, DC there was 15, moving it down a scale. Now you are going to fall. The difference, though, is now you're only rolling against taking 7 bludgeoning damage. Roll me a dexterity save to roll against the ground. You take 7 bludgeoning damage as you fall to the ground. Huffing, you feel your muscles incredibly strained. Go ahead and give me one more check, taking your time to get back up there. Alright, this is just not your friend. Alright, taking your time though, getting up there, we will come back to Soulmane. It is going to be a second. Malik...
As I avid fellow this bullshit.
Malik, up top this tower already, he is going to stumble behind this pillar, just heaving, exhausted, and he's going to hear these people stop from talking, and he's going to hear voices start coming in his direction, and one says, "What was that?" Another voice is going to say, "Might be burglars. Somebody go fetch one of the chantry guards. I'll check it out." Malik hears footsteps coming towards him. Looking back down, Soulmane has fell again. He's climbing back up towards you. He is an ant far below you.
Hey, Brendan.
Yes.
Is that dude gonna have to walk around the pillar to get to see him?
He is.
Okay.
I'm looking at my spells. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to wait until he gets around to this side of the pillar, and then the second that he sees me, I'm gonna cast Hold Person on him.
Alrighty. He walks around the pillar. The head of a what is this guy? He is a human, and he has brown hair, and you can't see his eye colors this late at night. He seems old and rather experienced. You cast a Hold Person on him.
Okay. My spell save is 16.
Okay, I have to check real quick, because I, just didn't expect you guys to be fighting this dude, so I need to see what's his spell list is. I don't have it. I don't have him rolled up on a character sheet.
Well, by all accounts, because I know he's coming and I'm here, this would probably be a surprise round.
Yeah, but some things can be cast as a reaction. Once again, if he has access to this, he does not. Okay. Anyways, he is going to beat your spell save. And
really?
Yes. Just rolling a flat 19 with no bonuses. Luck of the draw.
I swear to God, Brandon.
As he does, he puts his hand on a holy symbol around his neck, obscuring exactly what it is from Malik's view. He puts his hand forward and says, "This is a place where all may come and learn, not to be targeted by criminals like you. Yield."
It's a shame that I've got that exhaustion status debuff, because I'd probably, you said this guy looks older, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, because if I didn't have disadvantage on athletics, I'd try to grapple and throw him off the side of the roof.
Brandon.
Yes.
I rolled something.
Yes, I did see the stealth check.
Well, that's good, because I didn't even see the stealth check. Oh, by the way, Wild Magic Surge.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Doesn't happen.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Can I say a thing to this guy?
You can.
I say, sorry, the front entrance looked closed.
That's it. So you scale. So, and I think yeah, he's gonna look at you with like a puzzled expression and say, "So
Okay.
you scaled
As he's
hundreds of
confused-
feet into."
As
go
he's
ahead.
confused, I would like to make an athletics check at disadvantage to try and grapple and throw him off the side of the building.
All right, go for it.
You know, it's possible for a d20 to roll better than 5. I swear it is. It happened just a minute ago.
So, this, so as he is confused, you are going to, tackle this man. He goes, to cast a spell on you, and Malik is going to get around him and, throw him to the side of this railing and twist to throw him off, and this man's going to find his bearing, right before Malik does, and counter this move and throw Malik into the air. As he does, he curses and says, "By Umia's grace!" and jumps off, grabbing Malik's hand, and then also grabbing the railing. He rolled a 17 on his check before his bonuses. Malik is now hanging on to this tower through the sky. He looks down at you and says, "You're going to jail when this is done, but I am not your executioner."
Okay, real quick question. How many feet down is it?
About just over 100.
Okay, so 10d6 potentially kills me. Alright, so what can I do in tandem with this guy to heave myself back up?
It doesn't seem that he... This is when he'd roll bad on the check, when your guys' lives depend on it. Supporting your weight, it doesn't seem that he's going to be able to hold you guys very long. He's trying to pull Malik up, and he starts yelling for help.
Okay.
Do I see this at this time?
This is happening when Malik first gets up there. This is happening on your second attempt to come up, and you falling and catching yourself.
Okay. I'm going to... hang on. Let me check this ability. Okay. Alright. So what sort of check do I need to make to attempt to shimmy up this guy's arm?
I mean, you can, I guess that'd be another athletics check, to do so. Malik is rolling with disadvantage on those still.
I'm gonna have to correct you there, Brandon, because I got a fun feature called Tides of Chaos.
Alright, there you go. Let's go! Believe!
Alright, so this cancels out the disadvantage. You've gotta be fucking... You go to, start climbing up him, grabbing his robes, and they start to tear. And he... Because of course it would.
Yeah. He is going to, as they start to tear, Malik is going to slip off of him again, and he is going to curse and say, "Stop moving!" Attempting to catch Malik, and he's not going to be able to. You guys are both going to fall.
Okay. In that case, as I am falling, I will cast Darkness on myself from my racial ability.
Alright.
Actually, no, I'll hold on to that until after I take all this falling damage.
Okay.
You know, when I don't have to make a concentration check for it.
So, this As you guys are falling, you are going to see you're gonna see one of the Sagites looking that he called for help from looking over the edge. And this is so sad that, you know, this guy just probably is just gonna die. Alright, here we go. Let's roll
Look, he didn't
10.
have to walk around the pillar and look at my face. You know what? This is his fault.
This is his fault. We were robbing him. Alright. I feel like there should be some exponential modifier to that.
No, it's fine. I'll use second wind.
As you guys hit against the ground, I'm gonna roll you guys some percentage die to see if you because you guys just fell. Like, you guys really, really, really had a huge fall.
Yes, I'm aware, but I'm also aware that there are rules for falling damage. Brandon.
Yeah.
Don't.
So,
Brandon, please don't fuck me any harder than you already are.
I am rolling percentage dice for injuries for you guys. He is as you guys fall, Malik is going to hit the ground first. Taking most of the blow throughout his plate mail. Malik is going to walk away with several injuries. However, this guy is going to fall on top of Malik, and you are going to see...
Please don't say this deals extra damage to me.
No, you're going to physically see this guy bend over you. And he begins to yell and scream. Where Malik feels like he has broken limbs, this guy is still somewhat alive, but he is not moving.
Okay. I'm going to...
That's the difference between a 16 and an 80 on a percentage die.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to use second wind. Heal back up to the double digits. And I'm going to attempt to book it as fast as I can.
Do I see all this as I'm starting to climb?
Yeah, as you're climbing back up, you see Malik fall past you. This other man fall past Malik and land on top of him. And then you see Malik like getting up and just hobbling away as fast as he can.
Real quick, I might as well do him this kindness. I look him in the face and I say, "Do you want me to put you out of your misery? Answer now."
He is going to, first, is he even conscious?
Well, if he's not conscious, he wouldn't scream then, now would he?
Well, the pain can, like, drive somebody unconscious. He is not conscious.
Okay. Well, I'm chaotic evil, so I don't care about his suffering, so I'm gonna leave him there.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I hobble away as quickly as I can. I will lay down a darkness spell on his unconscious form. Presumably he can't resist it because he's unconscious. And maybe that'll cover my escape a little bit.
Alright. And does Soulmane continue climbing?
Seeing all this, no. He slides down and gets down off of the rope.
Okay,
I cast a spell. Do the thing. Oh, hold up.
Would you like me to roll it for you?
No, I got it.
Okay. Anyways, Soulmane, that last 15, doesn't count, or rather, you know, wouldn't matter, because as Soulmane would be, like, going to climb back up, all of this would be happening, and he'd be like, oh, nah.
Do I notice that, is there, like, any bushes or anything around in the area?
This tower is right next to the Grand Market. This is a very populated, or rather, like, densely, like, densely filled with buildings and other stuff. It is a civilian area. There's not like shrubbery in that here.
Alright. As soon as I get back onto the ground, I'm going to use my hat of disguise, change my form into just a random civilian, and try to blend in into the buildings and street.
All right, the gossip of tomorrow is going to be, hey, did you guys hear somebody threw the sage off his tower? Which, anyways,
so I escape?
Yeah, so far, nobody's chasing you as far as you know. I mean, the only people who knew you were up there are 100 feet in the sky right now. Anyways, Roak is stealth at the top of the tower. Does he want to do anything?
Like fly down and heal me?
Stick to the mission! Carry through the mission, Roak! Oh, by the way, Dryderius, the one you can hear, floating next to Roak, hissing, Dryderius is going to say, "Death not served in honor. Not good."
What? Well, I had a whole thing that I was going to try to do, but never really got the opportunity, so...
I thought Roak was sneaking past these guys as Malik, you know...
Well, I never quite got the chance to explain, but in any case, it doesn't really matter now. No, he's maintaining a high altitude and watching both of his fellows to make sure they get away. And once he's convinced that they'll actually make it, then he'll fly down it and we'll proceed with the first aid. But only when he's sure that they're actually going to make it.
Alrighty. Malik is, as Malik is hobbling away, you can heal Malik with, healing magic. I'm going to let, JD decide what gets healed. So what spell are you casting on, Malik?
So I'm assuming that they both escaped then.
Yeah, Soulmane was fine. Soulmane didn't decide to fall 100 feet off the tower.
I hate you. Also, just to recount my athletics checks from tonight, 3, 2, 19, and then 4, 6.
I just want to look at that medicine check right now.
Alright, so, is Roak casting a healing spell on Malik too?
Depends on how bad hurt he is. Obviously he can walk, so his legs aren't broken badly.
Alright, so...
No. I'm hobbling. Not walking. Hobbling.
Yeah. Each step is a very painful step for him. I'm going to tell you what Roak knows. That I'm assuming the 8 is first aid, and then the 23 is kind of like an examination.
Yeah, I guess the 8 would be to any arterial blood splash. The second, he's got kind of an arsenal of spells that he can. Yeah.
So Malik has from Roak's inspection, Malik has 3 injuries. His arm is broken, his ribs are broken, and one of his legs is broken.
We're gonna guess that this is simple fractures, yeah?
No, these are causing Malik a horrendous amount of pain as he's trying to run on them.
No. That's not what a simple fracture is. A simple fracture is when the bone has has a crack in it, but it's not enough of one to cause... See, a compound fracture is when the bone is sticking out of the skin, right? So that's like your arm has been snapped in half sort of thing. Simple breakage of bone can be categorized into a couple of different ways. A simple fracture is just when the bone has been cracked and may need to be set.
We are going to just deal with these journal terms. It would be, your arm would be very badly broken. Your leg is broken, but it is enough that it is horrifying to walk on, but not that it's a noodle as you step on it.
Right.
Your ribs, you are coughing up blood, but that is Roak's just... That's Roak knowing, oh, something in your chest to your lungs is, you know... Bleh, bleh, bleh.
So does...
Poke the hole.
Because since every DM has a different move for this, are broken bones healed with this just general hit point restoration magic?
If you cast a spell on him, you are going to be able, between lesser restoration and a healing spell, you are going to be able to take care of 2 of Malik's 3 injuries, and the other one will set enough that Malik can use, but it's not going to be perfect until he has time to properly recover. This is magical duct taping, essentially, and I'm going to let JD decide which of his injuries get healed if Roak decides to cast those 2 spells on him.
Does the level of the spell and the amount healed have anything?
No, these are severe injuries. Malik fell 100 feet off a tower. He should be dead.
Right. So what I'm saying is, I have 1st level healing spells, I have 3rd level healing spells, I have 2nd level spells. So I can just... It wouldn't matter if I cast a 1st healing spell or a 3rd healing spell.
It would not.
Be the same. Okay, well in that case, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds in a 3rd level slot. And then I'll cast Lesser
That triggers
Restoration.
my transformation.
Alright. So, Malik begins looking like a demonic tiefling. Already was a tiefling. The next thing, JD, Malik has sustained 3 injuries that are going to stick with him for a while.
He's gonna gesture to the leg and say, "I need to be able to walk and to breathe."
I'm going to tell you what each of these injuries is going to cost Malik in the future. If his arm stays broken, he cannot properly wield a shield and a weapon at the same time. Along with if he is holding a weapon, despite his warcaster, he's only going to have only his one hand can perform somatic components properly. His
he
leg...
doesn't have Warcaster.
Okay. So yeah, if he's holding a weapon, he cannot perform somatic components with his other hand.
That's fine. I almost always have my flails sheathed anyway.
Okay. His leg, half speed and disadvantage on reflex checks. And his chest, Malik is going to be vulnerable to all forms of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, so we're going to go with the leg and the chest because I'm a caster. I don't even need to use weapons. I can foresee instances in which this will come back to bite me later on, but for the time being, yeah, halved speed is a no-go because I'm already slow enough as it is.
Okay, and if Malik has a shield equipped, he won't be able to cast spells.
Okay, and these are going to be like permanent things, or I'll be able to recover from these over time?
You will be able to recover from these over time.
Will it be expedited if he has or like medical, like someone to facilitate his recovery?
Put it like this: Elena had all of the money in the world and access to the best healthcare, and it still took her about 2 weeks to heal from her breaking her arm. As far as the injury portion of it goes.
Okay. Would constant bed rest be a thing that would accelerate it? Because I don't imagine that Elena would be the type to sit idly.
Yes, she is not constant rest with somebody capable of administering care would accelerate it.
Okay. In that case, I need my arm, and I need to be able to walk. I don't typically take a whole lot of bludgeoning damage. But I can foresee that in the future that there's going to be a bevy of Warhammer-wielding enemies, so...
Malik has 24 AC, but that one hit that gets through that's dealing 17 damage is, you know, gonna chunk for half his health.
Yeah, really. Alright.
I'm letting you choose, otherwise, you know, I would just be rolling randomly. Which I think is a very good... better decision, you know, letting you choose.
Yeah.
Do I meet up with him at this point, Brandon?
Yeah. Soulmane would come through as Roak has Malik on the ground and is inspecting him.
If that's the case, instead of casting the cure wounds, I'm going to cast prayer of healing instead.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, just leg and arm then, because as much as I hate to say it, all chance getting hit with bludgeoning damage.
Soulmane still disguised as someone else comes up to you guys.
Oh, wait a minute. He's disguised as somebody else?
Yeah, that's how I got out of there. I used my head of disguise and go off.
Okay, so... 1 second. Just a second. Oh, damn, it's right here.
So it could be worse. You could be paralyzed.
Yeah, I'm thanking my lucky stars.
Okay, good. Just getting probably have his mic. Hey.
All right, so
15.
As Roak is healing people, Drydarius is going to say, yes, keeping those who kill alive is good. It's good.
Kill me. He's where's that? No, it would. Sometimes I wonder about this interface. They could do this better. Where is it? He's gonna have a look at that chest wound again.
Well, let's get back to the inn before you strip me down to my skivvies. Oh, sorry. Let's get back to the inn. Please strip me down.
That's why he's wanting to make sure he's not bleeding internally.
Yeah, the healing duct tapes all his insides together.
Malik will hack up a little bit of blood and say, "Does that answer your question?"
I didn't ask you.
Stop talking. Well, that could have gone better.
Malik, looking at the citizen and suspecting Soulmane because he's done this once before tonight, he'll say, "Oh, you think?"
And he's like,
the guy that you were supposed to kill, the guy that I brought off the roof with me.
By the way, we're always going to hand Malik his ash walking stick.
Alright.
Solmane is going to walk up to Malik, put his hands out onto his shoulders, and cast Healing Hands to heal him.
Wait a second. Solmane is an ASMR?
Well, not as far as anyone knows.
Yeah, because Healing Hands is an ASMR feature. I find it kind of interesting that we have both a devil and an angel in this.
Yeah.
And the
We'll
angel is the one with the better, more functioning moral compass to boot.
But as he does this, you notice his eyes turn to a deep, dark black.
Well, Malik's are a deep red, so, you know.
Oh, I didn't expect to see a full-blooded tiefling in this area. Yeah, I thought you were just human.
He'll shrug and say, "Magic brings it out." And then shakily stand to his feet and say, "Back to the inn." Oh! Oh!
Hey, when you guys get back to the, once you get back to the lucky coin, stumbling in for the night, it is well worth the money you paid for it. It is the best night of rest Malik is going to get after an event like tonight.
Okay, so what would it be? What kind of checks would it be for me to act normal as I walk into this place? Broken.
You can just go ahead. You can roll a deception check because Malik's got the functionality of his leg. You know, it's just kind of like a, you know, it's a little cold out there.
All right, there we go. Where was that roll? Why couldn't I have rolled that?
That's a fucking insult.
You know what? I should have used heightened spell to give that guy a disadvantage on the wisdom save. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, let's see.
I thought about it.
Let's see what you. I rolled a 6 on that on a roll now. It's just hypothetical. Anyways, when you get back to, you're gonna find Hilarious in your room. She's going to look up at you and say, "Wow, you guys look great. Get into a fight tonight?"
Malik is going to very hastily begin coming out of his full plate and then just flop onto the bed, or not flop onto the bed, gingerly drape himself onto the bed and say, "You guys mind if I take this for the night?"
So, what is that?
Shouldn't have tried climbing a tower in full plate armor.
Yes, duly noted. Next time, I'll attempt it without the full plate.
What is that 20? What does that 25 tell me?
Oh, the 25. Malik's insides. Looking at it, they, from what you can tell and how he's breathing, what's done seems done. As far as the injuries go, however, his chest is still bruised, and you hear a bit of liquid in his lungs as just, you know, you closed up the wounds, but everything that hit against things still hit against things, and while it's not, you know, still, like, there aren't still ribs jabbing into his organs, those organs are still, you know, sore, even though the tissue that was lost is back.
Okay. So as part of him administrating care, he's going to, it's kind of weird because he's doing this almost like a proper doctor. But
this is the most caring that we've ever seen our Birdman.
It's almost, you know, he's gonna sort of make him sit back up again while he wraps the cloth around his, his torso, and then he's going to tell it says, Lay on your back.
Malik will lean back and say, "You don't have to tell me twice."
Just make sure you turn your head, because if you just cough and there's still blood in your lungs, you'll choke on it.
Malik will glance at Salmain and say, "So what exactly did you need to have done? Because I think we might have to put a stopper on it for a while."
There's an object in there that I needed to get.
Okay, so my murdering of that guy probably isn't going to help. He'll point to Hilarious and say, "You can be writing this down, by the way."
Alright, Hilarious is going to scribe object, and she's going to ask, where is there?
Some fucking tower somewhere. I didn't get the name of it as I was falling.
Salmain's very confused by the situation, looks over at Malik and then to her. What the hell is she doing?
Oh, she's... It's a long story. Basically, we had this this one asshole led the group a while back before I asserted clear dominance over the group.
Yeah, because you look...
George sneezes somewhere in the distance. She writes down things and chronicles stuff so that it's easier to recap everybody after we've been split up. Drink this. A bit of clarity. He drinks it and sputters a little bit, but puts it down. Yeah, it's really bad. Still not the worst thing that he's ever tasted. Are you sure about that? You don't know what's in it. Well, I'm gonna let you in on something. He's a peasant from Low Lakes. He's had much worse.
Did you make that egg yourself there, Birdman?
Elena, Hilarious is going to, while you guys are discussing her, she's going to pipe up and say, yes, I was paid to scribe for 75 days worth of time. You guys have had her with you for 22.
Oh, I thought you were about to say 70 days, and I was going to be like, I need to pay her to stay with us forever.
Yeah.
Because she's a fixture in the party now, and Malik would be just heartbroken if she left.
Yeah.
I have another question for you while you're stewing in pain and drinking I don't want to know what.
Malik looks it over and says, it's kind of bitter, but honestly, he's the doctor and I'm willing to put faith in him despite how much he talks about eating people. Chew this! Malik doesn't hesitate, opens his mouth.
Are you just pulling stuff out of your bag and seeing what he'll tip in his mouth at this point now?
Excuse me, are you a practitioner of the healing arts?
No, but I am a sadistic asshole, and this would be something I would do.
Well, that's why you'll never be a practitioner of them. Thank you.
Malik puts up a hand and says, I don't know about you, but if at this point he whipped out his, I don't know, bird cock or whatever it is, I tell you, I'd suck on it, okay?
Roy's gonna put his hand against his forehead and like, ugh. Fever.
Anyways.
Malik turns to Hilarious and I don't suppose there's any way you can make that sound clear.
She has already written it down, and you'll see her start scribbling and then rewriting in her journal.
He nods and says, thank you, there's 10 gold tip in it for you.
Hilarious is making bank.
The other girl, the one that you had your lover's quarrel with.
She's not a lover. I mean, at one point there might have been something there, but I I don't know.
Useless.
My question isn't about your love life, it's more about where the hell is she? This town isn't the kind of place you want to be strolled off on your own.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know, and at this point, I'm a little bit preoccupied with something else to give a shit.
Yeah, Ilarius is going to pipe up and say, I saw her when we were settling in. She went into the morning Falcon across the street.
Well, there's your answer. She's probably across the street. And if I know her, and unfortunately I don't very well, but I know enough of her, she's probably stewing in some kind of alcohol.
You know, well, that makes things worse because you know how we found your friend there in the pit?
No, but go on.
Oh, this town is notorious for kidnapping people and selling them into slavery.
Nice. How does that pertain to us again?
Look, I joined you guys after the incident in the Capitol. Well, who stays and who goes is none of my business. I'm just letting you know, fearless leader, that potentially one of your party members could be sold into slavery, and if she is, well, intoxicated to the point that you're...
Okay. There's 10 rubies in it if you go over there and make sure she's fine.
Can do.
Why are you bothering?
I toss 10 rubies towards Solmain.
Why bother? We're not babysitters.
Malik will look at Rourke and say, I don't know what I am, I don't know what you are, but it's clearly a me thing and not a you thing.
Alright. So is Solmain going to go check on Elsie?
Or is he just gonna take my money?
He's going to go over and go up to the bar, or go into the bar and go up to the bartender. Like, I'm looking for. He's going to use his hat disguise to look like a commoner first.
Okay, I thought you were going to say use it to look like Elsie. And it's like, I'm looking for this person.
Before he walks in, he's going to change, and he's going to go in and go, I'm looking for a woman, describes her to the bartender, potentially upset and drowning her sorrows in alcohol.
He's going to gesture upstairs and say, oh yeah, I know her. She nearly drank me out of all my good stuff. You a friend of hers?
Yes.
Solmain, looking around here, even though it is, at this point about 1 in the morning, it is, still loud and crowded in here, and these patrons don't look at all any type of polite. The bartender that you're talking to, by the way, is also a large female. Elsie could not make out any of the people she discussed with. Anyways, the man is going to gesture upstairs and says,
I thought it was a woman.
Oh, I'm sorry. The woman is going to... I was still thinking on the other thought train, like my brain snapped to Elsie and all the things she did. Anyways, she's going to gesture upstairs and say, yeah, your friend's upstairs, rented a room. She's very, very, very intoxicated. I don't want to hear anything coming from up there. It's not the type of place I run.
But of course, no, I'm just here to make sure she's alright and that nothing happens.
The woman nods and says, second room to the left.
Alright, Soulmane will head upstairs.
The door is locked.
Takes a look at it.
Do you have a thieves, a pair of
Oh,
thieves
yes,
tools?
I do.
Alright, roll me a check for this, very hard...
Natural one! Natural one.
Incredible.
With a natural one, it's still 11!
Incredible.
I want you to take a look at both those rolls. That's a 1 and a 2.
Alright, you're going to...
I'm not going to say that we've been having a bad time tonight, but I've got broken ribs, a broken arm, and a broken leg, so...
And I probably don't have broken thieves' tools.
No, your thieves' tools aren't going to break. You're going to stick them in there and start wiggling these things around. The second you start moving these things around, you're gonna hear a voice behind you, and Soulmane's just gonna, pop up and, turn around, hiding what he's doing, and the voice is going to say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Is it the bartender?
It is not the bartender. It is another woman. However, she is very mercenary-like in Soulmane's opinion. She looks like she has her wits about her as far as combat goes. She is, however, a Dorai.
Sorry, Dorai in this world is...
a elf of some sort. You can't tell high elf, wood elf, or half elf. She could be any of the three.
Soulmane looks at her and goes, "A friend of mine is in here. She's very upset and locked herself in. I'm just trying to make sure she's alright."
She's going to place a hand on the door and say, yeah, she's a friend of mine too, and last I talked to her, she just wanted to get a good night's rest.
Friend of yours, huh?
Soulmane has never seen this lady before in his life.
So he's gonna insight check her right now.
Yeah, to be fair, he hasn't known for Elsie that long either.
Yeah. Yeah, from what Soulmane can tell, that's not even a very good lie. You guys just blew into town just looking for some place to lay low.
Soulmane is gonna stand up and in Elvish look at her and go, "I don't know what your deal is here, but I'm gonna ask you to please step away."
She is going to step forward and say, I need her for something tomorrow, and it'd be best if you did the same.
Is there anyone else in the area?
No, there's not.
Soulmane is going to use his necrotic shroud, which, when he uses it, all creatures within 10 feet of him must make a DC. Let's see here, my proficiency is 6. DC 14. Charisma saving throw or be frightened. While doing so, he's just going to look at her with his black pupils and say, "Leave now."
Alright, she is going to, she's going to roll an 11, and with her modifier, she's going to pass that. She's, going to lean in and whisper and say, now, see, I'm not the type to be easily frightened. I'll let you in on a little secret. My friend and I stole something, and we're smuggling it out of town tomorrow. She's headed down south. We're gonna get it from her from the gates. Now, if you want your friend to make it out of the city alive, I suggest you just leave her alone for the evening. Otherwise, I got about 3 more thugs in that room down there, not afraid to come here and put a sword through your gut, hide your body, and we'll get what we need off of her tomorrow and leave you here to bleed out.
This guy is pretty concise.
It is, I mean, when you have a heist go on, you plan it out.
You charlatans think you know everything. You haven't truly experienced what it's like to be in the world of the dark, have you? Get out of my face, or the next breath you take last. And I will roll the intimidation if you would like.
All right, go ahead and roll me that intimidation check. She is going to look at Soulmane, like just
still with his skeletal flapping behind him and his eyes pitch black.
Yeah, just like eyes to eyes, and look back down the hallway and say, I told you where she needs to be tomorrow, and she better have it. Otherwise, you're gonna make a lot of people upset. She turns and starts walking down the hallway.
Very tempted. But I am alone in this, and there might be more.
She told you there's more.
I mean, we're right across the street.
As she turns her back to me, I'm going to pull out my rapier and jab it in her spine.
All right, you don't have a sneak attack on that. She's very aware of your presence. Roll me an attack roll. You are going to hit her. Roll damage.
And as I do it, I cover her mouth at the same time.
She turns to you. The rapier slides against her abdomen. She takes the damage, but you are not able to grapple her and cover her mouth. We are going to pick up there with combat next week.
Oh, hold on. She also takes necrotic damage because of my...
Alrighty.
She takes 7 necrotic damage.
Okay, I'm gonna record that on her index card, and we will have a sheet and thing for her next week.
Soulmane's not in a very good mood right now.
Oh no?
I mean, y'all can probably combat between now and next session.
Oh yeah, probably so, since it's just Soulmane here. She is going to yelp, and I'm going to roll if Elsie wakes up. Alright, so we will handle that next session. You guys mind if we are, not next session, but sometime this coming week? You guys mind if we end there for the night?
Nope.
Seems fine.
Alright. The nat 1 on that check, wouldn't, like, you would have actually got in with just the 10. The nat 1 contributes to
noise.
Yeah, what's going on out there? But yeah, good session tonight. a lot of stuff happen.
I can't.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I can't believe I just rolled a 1.
Yeah. It is the worst, most awful feeling, you know. And it's when you have like 5 critical checks for the night, as far as, you know, things you need to do and only 1 inspiration to spend, it's always hard to know, like, when's the time I should spend it. But, nonetheless, let's see. As far as storyline stuff tonight, you guys got a little bit done with getting the message to Athew, getting extorted by Captain Thalix, like, oh my god, we're gonna get rich, he's so stupid!
I believe I extorted her.
Yeah, I mean, but she doesn't know that, so... But as, just for people watching the stream in the future, there's a hireling section of the player's handbook. For a messenger to deliver a message, it is 2 copper per mile, which, you know, the ultimate price of that message to Draylin would have been like 6 silver. Or not to Draylin, to Athy, would have been like 6 silver at most. Instead, you know, she thinks she's gonna get like 6,000 silver. Anyways, yeah, you guys got the message to Athew, found out the Twilight Fang shipped stuff through Gwir. You also found out that the Cult of the Fifth Ascended is at odds with the Twilight Fang, and the Cult of the Fifth Ascended and the Twilight Fang both left Gwir as far as where their powerhouse, or rather where their base of operations is. Other important storylines, old strange foreigner dude wants a orb, and you guys picked that up.
Oh, we didn't pick up the orb.
No, you picked up that storyline. And I'm actually going to grant bonus experience tonight for Elsie's crying fit, because yeah,
she actually played character well.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good in her character, and it actually contributed to the storyline. Anyways, that was 4 events I counted. I'm gonna give you guys 1,800 for tonight. Anything else major I miss?
Malik surviving.
You mean other than the spectacular roleplay that I've been giving you all night? I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I'm going to take a moment to toot my own horn.
Yes, also tonight, inspiration for Elsie and Malik. You know what? I'm going to just pass around inspiration to the entire party for tonight. Roak... Oh, it is midnight, so I'm actually going to roll for Roak's peeps. Another 2 people for the second day, or another 2 figures. And I will send you a message of who they are. It is Dryderius and Desmond, and I'll remind you at the start of the next session.
Alrighty. Let's see.
Were you able to pick up on Dryderius's alignment at all?
Chaotic evil.
Or probably more neutral evil. Is my guess. Evil something or other.
They're all now, and Roak would know this. Everybody following him they're all shades of death. They all serve death. In different aspects. So There are good Reapers and bad Reapers. So.
I guess in that respect.
Yeah, your guys' next session is going to be on the 5th of February. And
Really? We're going back in time?
Yes. Yes. It's the next year, actually, is when we're playing again. This is a once-a-year campaign. No, I'm sorry, the 5th of March.
Sorry, Brandon, I had to fuck with you on that.
No, it's good. I like making sure groups can play twice a month, and we missed your guys' last date. I know it's incredibly hard to schedule things with this party, but if there is a time you guys can, all get together, I am very down with doing a bonus session for you guys. With that, I'm going to end the broadcast.